What's the weirdest or most challenging file you've ever processed? Give us something
That's
good.
a really good question.
Yeah.
Probably one of yours.
Yeah, probably, no doubt.
I would say we had somebody,
We'll just say a company.
let's say one of the biggest issues I've ever had was a certain lender who they had a very long review process. It was a 90-day review process, and it was ideally it was going to be a quick turnaround, maybe like a 30-day closing. And we found this mortgage that was not properly released, and so we had to go. So I basically spent, it was probably 120 days. I remember thinking, wow, I've worked like a third of a year on this file trying to get it closed, and it ultimately came down to the fact that they just weren't reviewing the file. I called them so much that I basically figured out their entire system. So I would talk to them, and I'd have to get past the first customer service representative and then get on to somebody at a higher level. Well, eventually they got tired of me calling, and they just gave me the direct number for that escalation department. And so I started calling them, and I would call them every couple of days to try to figure out what's going on. And I eventually called them so much that they disabled that phone number.
Wow.
I had to start calling the regular customer service line again. Yeah, it was pretty wild. But I got so frustrated. And part of being on the title side of things is you kind of become like a detective. You have to kind of dig into things and learn how processes work for some of these companies.
That's good.
So one of the things that you realize is that whenever a company has a domain and they have email addresses, they all have the same format for an email address, right? So if it's John Doe at bank.com, well, the CEO has the exact same format email address as the lowliest customer service representative. So for that particular file, I ended up going on their website and looking up, they had their entire executive staff on the website. So I just put all of their email addresses based on how they format their email addresses into an email with about 30 people. I also copied every vice president that had signed a release of mortgage improperly over the last 2 years that I could find on the county clerk's website. And I spent an hour composing this scathing email about their company and how unacceptable it was and how I'd been dealing with this process for 90 days and this woman couldn't sell her house because of their incompetence. I fired that email off, and not every email worked, but it did for the CEO. And so about 2 days later, I got a phone call from somebody in their company, and it was like a customer service executive.
Wow.
We were able to get the issue resolved a couple weeks after that.